Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to make faux leather keychains and key fob wristlets with your Cricut machine. Before I get started, I want to give Cricut a special thank you for sponsoring today's video. All of the supplies that I'll be using to complete these projects will be linked in the description box. If you didn't know, a Cricut is a smart cutting machine that allows you to cut a wide variety of materials to create craft projects such as vinyl, cardstock, faux leather, and many more. Cricut Design Space is their software where you can create your own designs with over 100,000 images to choose from. With just the press of a button, these images can be then sent to your Cricut machine to cut. I enjoy crafting with my Cricut because the possibilities to create are truly endless. To create the key fob wristlets, you will need faux leather, patterned iron-on vinyl, and key fob hardware. As you can see, the back side of the faux leather is plain, so I thought it would be fun to add a pop of color with these floral iron-on vinyl sheets from Cricut. On Cricut Design Space, add a square to your canvas and unlock it to change the dimensions to 1 inch wide by 11 inches long. Since I'll be making 3 at once, I duplicated the rectangle a couple of times and clicked on the green Make It button. I selected the on mat option since I'll be using the purple mat. Then I spread them out to make sure there was enough room to add some painter's tape around them to secure them. As for the settings, I selected the one that says faux leather paper thin with more pressure. To get the most out of your materials, I recommend trimming your faux leather pieces before actually cutting them with your Cricut machine. I cut mine to the width of this ruler, which was about 2 inches, and cut straight across. I repeated the same trimming process with the patterned iron-on vinyl. Next, I used the Cricut EasyPress 3 to apply the iron-on vinyl onto the faux leather strips. If you didn't know, the new Cricut Heat app makes it easy for you to figure out the heat settings, and it guides you throughout the entire project, making sure you're doing everything correctly. I simply sent the settings to the EasyPress 3 from the app, and it immediately started to heat up, which was pretty awesome. First, I preheated the backside of the faux leather for 5 seconds, then I individually pressed each of the strips to make sure they were getting an even amount of heat. Once the iron-on vinyl cooled down, I peeled off the plastic carrier sheet to reveal the pattern. Next, take the strips and place them on the mat to match the placing on Design Space. I separated mine every few inches. Today I'm using my Cricut Explore 3 machine. Before you start cutting, make sure you switch the fine point blade for the deep cut blade. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be using the faux leather paper thin setting with extra pressure. This setting works perfectly because it cuts through each twice. Before unloading your mat, make sure your material was cut all the way through. If it didn't, don't worry, just press the C button and it will cut it again. To put these together, you just need some key fob hardware and pliers. Fold the strips in half with the pattern on the inside, then use a small piece of double-sided tape to keep the ends still. This will make it so much easier when aligning the ends of the strips to the hardware. Squeeze the pliers, making sure it's tight enough to secure it properly. These are super cute and can be personalized however you want. These would make great little gifts. Now I'm going to show you how to make some keychains with the same faux leather material, just a different style. For these, I wanted to create something that would almost look like a 3D effect. So I went ahead and added a letter A. Then I duplicated the A and flipped one of them vertically. To attach both of these letters together, I added a square. Then I changed the dimensions to 0.5 by 1.5 inches long. Highlight all of the elements to make sure they're centered correctly before welding. To create dimension to this project, I went ahead and added an offset. For the next keychain, I added an image that caught my eye. I thought it would be cute. It says "Adventure Awaits." Again, I added an offset to this image as well of 0.15 with rounded edges. To get rid of those gaps in the offset layer, I simply went on the contour button and hid all of the contours. So here I'm doing the same method that I did earlier. I duplicated the image, then I flipped one of them vertically. I didn't want mine to be double-sided, so I deleted one of the images. Next, I created a rectangle to connect both of these together. Lastly, weld the offset layers and the rectangle together, and it's ready to be cut. For these keychains, I used the same setting, the faux leather, paper thin with more pressure, except for the iron-on vinyl, I used the folio iron-on vinyl setting. Also, don't forget to mirror your images if you're using iron-on.
In and out of love, never get enough. We never seem to get older. When things are going right, you seem to have the time, but when it's hard, you just grow cold up. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good.
After your Cricut machine is done cutting, make sure you double check those cuts. If it didn't cut all the way through, you can go ahead and cut it again, but mine were good. To cut the iron-on vinyl, I made sure to switch the deep cut blade for the fine point blade.
Memories come back when I'm with you. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. Been here 1,000 times. Set up a stage of lies. Say we're done, say it's over. Shouldn't be coming back, but somehow
I used these swivel keychains to put them together. Then I applied the iron-on vinyl decal onto one side.
we should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. It's deja vu.
After removing the plastic carrier sheet, I used some fabric glue to glue both sides together. I repeated the same process with this keychain, except this time I used another piece of faux leather instead of iron-on vinyl as the offset layer. And this is how they all turned out. I'm so happy with them. I think they turned out really cute. I hope this video inspires you to create your own. If you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time with a new DIY.